Hey there friends, it's me Lauren with OneNote Quilting. Yesterday or the day before I shared a video just in how I use my tablet to kind of practice and draw designs, and I've had a bunch of questions and messages about what tablet I'm using, what program I'm using, and it's all a lot simpler I think than it might seem. So I wanted to share that information with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to angle it down at my tablet so you can kind of see what I'm working with. And then if you have any questions, I may or may not be able to see them on the screen, but hopefully it doesn't look backwards. But this is one of those things where I can share this information. I've shared this information before in the past, but it's amazing how there's so many different people on the internet at so many different times of the day that it just gets looked over and it doesn't reach everyone. So this is such a fantastic design tool that I think is overlooked by a lot of quilters. You don't often think about how you can use all these different parts of technology to really help you to audition your designs on your quilt top by taking a picture of it and drawing on it, by uploading, like I've been doing, the little quilt blocks and practicing different design concepts. And the cool thing is that it's digital, so for me, for my hands, I can't write on paper all day long. It gets very tiring, so there's little to no resistance on the screen. So there's a lot of benefits to using the computer, and then you can just take a USB flash drive and save a backup copy of your library of all the different designs that you're making. And with this particular program, it is cloud-based, so everything is up in the proverbial cloud. So if something were to happen to your computer, it should still be able for you to access if you logged into your account online. So let me show you what the tablet is, what the program is, and what I use, and then when I'm all done, I can share a link. I've made an Amazon list of different tablets and stuff that I would recommend, and they're just various price ranges, just so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about without having to do hours and hours of research, and then y'all can go from there with what you're looking at. But be sure to share this video with your friends so that they can see what programs we're using, because like I said, I could post this every day for a year and still not show everybody who follows my Facebook page. So just please share to your quilting groups and stuff. This is really cool information. So I'm going to angle the camera down, and I do apologize if you get a little seasick. Okay, so this is a tablet. This is it's a Microsoft Surface Pro. Mine is a Surface Pro 4, which is like super old now. Surface Pros I think are up to 7 or 8. I noticed my son actually has to have a tablet for school, and so I was looking to get him a Surface Pro like mine because they're just really good tablets. And they actually have something called a Microsoft Surface Go, which is actually a much cheaper version of this tablet. It has a processor that's not as fast, so if you're really just using it for the purpose of doing your quilting stuff, you're not doing video editing or online gaming or different things, those Microsoft Surface Go tablets might work well for you, but the processor is slower. But this is a Microsoft Surface Pro, and so what I've got is, let's see here, so this tablet, they don't come with them anymore, but when I bought them, they came with these styluses. So this stylus has the touchscreen is a 10-point sensitivity touchscreen, and the stylus is like 150 degrees of sensitivity, because these tablets are actually made to where you can like sketch and do different things with them, and depending on how hard you push down on the pen is how deep your brush stroke gets. So these are like really nice styluses. They're like $100 or something, but they're made to go with your Surface Pro. With that said, you can get cheaper versions of the stylus for 20 or 30 bucks. If you're not sketching, you don't need it to do all of those things, so that doesn't matter. You can also there are iPads that come with pens that will do the same thing, and you can use the same program that I'm going to show you on them. So once you have a tablet, you can have an Android tablet, you can use this on your phone if you've got like a Galaxy Note with a stylus, or maybe I don't know if there's an iPhone out there with a stylus, because I'm not an iPhone person, so I wouldn't know. But if there's something like that, you can also use this program on your phone. When I started designing with this program, I did it on my phone. I had like a Samsung Galaxy Note 4 before they started exploding. And so that's what I did all the time. And I would just make my picture bigger, draw my design, and make it smaller and look at it. So the whole purpose of this really is just to practice different designs. So I get a program. You can go into your App Store or your Microsoft Store or your Google Play Store, and you're going to order a program called OneNote. Look very quickly here. This logo. Come on. That's what it looks like. It's just a little purple square with an N on it. It's Microsoft OneNote. And what it is it's fantastic, especially for like school age kids, because you can do, you can write notes and then make them a printable note. It can help you with your math. It can help you with all kinds of stuff. So this program is really amazing. But I noticed that you could like pull in pictures and worksheets and write on them. And I'm like, why can't we do that with our quilt designs? So, what I do is I take a photo, right, of my quilt top. That's a quilt top that I quilted on. A lot of you might recognize it. And this is how I audition my designs. You see all my drawings here? None of them are perfect. They look wonky, but honestly, it is just to get an idea. The cool thing about it is what you can do. So if you have OneNote and you've never used it before, open it up. Okay, so in order to use this, you need to have a blank space. It gives you all these different notebooks that you can make. I have quick notes, I have, different online class samples, and then this one is just called my projects, and so it's got double wedding ring, one called French Girls, and one called Fancier Feathers. So like Fancier Feathers is like we're doing an online Fancier Feathers class, and so it's got all those different ideas for different feather fills and how to do stuff and how to work them in the spine. So when we do that online class, this is how I'll be working my worksheets in the class to show you and give you all the information. But when I'm practicing, let's get rid of that menu here. I probably should have cleaned my screen. There we go. I made the menu go away. You can see a lot of quilts that I've done in here. Look, here's Freddie. That was the first idea with a stand-up mushroom. And so I just take a photo and I put it in here and I use that to design. Check out the elephant. So see, I was able to map out my entire design before I even started working on him. And I even went in there and real big, see, you can see all the different intricacies of what I planned on quilting in those areas. Now this can only take you so far because sometimes what you put in there and then the actual size of the patchwork are way different, and so then you realize that your design is too big or too small for the area that you were planning to do. But that's okay, it's all a learning curve, and the more that you do it, the more that you'll figure it out. So let's say I took a picture of a quilt top and I want to get it in here to design. There's too many pictures and ink in this folder. You'll find that you need to have it load slowly if you have so many pictures and ink going on. So let's just get into an emptier folder. Double wedding ring, okay? And so like when I was designing a top for a client, this is my just digital image of the patchwork and everything, and then I went over and showed her how I would quilt it in the 3 different sections and how they would be different and how they would work. But let's pull in a picture. So if I just click into an empty space, wherever that cursor is, see where that little dot is and it's blinking, that's where my picture is going to go. So let's say I want to put in a picture, I'll go to Insert, I'll select Picture. Usually I save it as a picture from File. It'll pull up some different pictures. So let's do a picture of a quilt top, which I may or may not have. Let's pull in this one, Millie the Mermaid, little cute little applique pattern. It's going to pull it in relative to the size that it is, but then you can then take it and make it bigger or smaller. If you're doing this on like a regular PC, you don't have a touch screen, you don't have a stylus, you can actually use a mouse to make that picture bigger and use a mouse to draw those designs in. Is it easy? Probably not, but it's definitely something that you can do. There are even, and I think I have them in the Amazon list that I made as well, there are even like $20 or $30 drawing pads that come with a stylus and a pad that hook up to a regular computer, and you can draw on that stylus and pad and see the pictures on your computer screen, which is super cool. So I took a picture of my quilt top and now I want to plan my designs. So now I'm going to go to Draw. Okay, this is why I like doing pre-recorded videos, because I could have everything very close for you to see. But there's a tab up here that says draw. I click on it and you see all these pencils come up. There are pencils, pens, and markers, so there's various widths that you can draw, right? And so for this particular tablet, the back acts as an eraser automatically, and the tip acts as a tip. So if I go in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find a pen that's a contrasting color so I can see my thread and my designs on here. And then you can also select a weight. So there's these little dots on top and they go from smaller to bigger. I often go as small as possible to try to represent the thread that I'm using, right? So we're going to go super skinny. We're going to pick, we'll just pick a hot pink color. There you go, and so you can see it. So you'll notice that the pen stroke is also relative to the size of the design. So as I make my picture smaller, that pen stroke gets skinnier, but as I make my picture bigger, that pen stroke gets fatter. So it all kind of is relative. So then if I want to go in here and practice, right, I could just start auditioning different designs. For what I want to do, and then I can see how I like the way that that looks, right? So that's how I would do that with a picture. You can erase it, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. When I go onto various colors, if I can't see my pen as well, I'll go up here and alter the pen color before I go into those darker colors so that I can then see something lighter that makes more sense. So for instance, I was having a hard time seeing the pink on the purple, so I switched to silver right here so I could see it, because I was having difficulty seeing it. Now let's say you're taking an online class. Maybe you're taking one of my online classes on boldnotionquilting.com, and you want to bring those worksheets into here, and you want to save that digital library like we have here. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to click Insert, and you're going to go to Print Out. Sometimes it takes a second, but I have the urge to like click it a bunch of times because I don't think it's listening to me. So let's take out FMQ 103 worksheets. I'll always give you a PDF. PDFs are the easiest thing to put in here, right? So it's going to take a second. It's going to say inserting your printout, and the printouts automatically insert at the bottom of your page. They don't just go wherever your cursor is. So like these are some worksheets from our Free Motion Quilting 103 class, and we're going to practice doing it in circles and triangles and all that stuff when that comes out in October. So all of these worksheets, you know, I can pull up and I can work on simple designs. I can then take my rulers, right? So yesterday I was showing you guys, like, if you have a ruler grip, you want to keep that grip facing up. But then if you want, because of the way that this is designed, it's designed to work with my pen. And so there's very little, sometimes there is, but there's very little interference from my hands. So if I wanted to practice using a ruler, I could. The other thing is, if you don't have a ruler, this actually comes with a cool thing in it. It comes with its own ruler. So if I go to draw, I click ruler, a ruler pops up. So no matter where I draw, well, that's not true. If I try to draw along the line, even if I go towards the ruler, it gives me that straight line, which I think is awesome because then I don't have to pull out my ruler to do that. You can also do something in here called ink to shape. So let's say you have circle rulers and you want to get a specific idea. If I click ink to shape and it's light, right now it's light gray, it's just slightly different than the one next to it. If I draw a circle, it fixes it into the closest possible shape. So you want to be careful what you're doing, but let's say I do this and then I do this. It makes it all a little bit prettier, right? So then you can kind of see, you know, how that would work. Right? Then you can go in and fill that in with something crazy. But it gives you a good idea of how you can use the program. So this program, like I said, you can use on a Microsoft tablet. You can use it on any Android tablet, phone, anything with or without a stylus. I can even use my pen, my finger. So if I go to draw and I don't have a stylus, there's this little finger icon, which I would like to show you. See that little squiggly and the finger? If you click on that, I now can draw with my finger. And it just uses to the best of its ability, just gauging where the tip of my finger is. And then if you want to erase something, you just click eraser, and the eraser has a couple different settings. Come on, sucker. So it has a stroke eraser, a small eraser, a medium eraser, or a large eraser. So I always have it set to stroke, so whatever I've drawn with my pen in a continuous line, it'll then erase. So right now it's set to stroke, so if I do this, it'll erase the whole thing. If I set it to a size, small, medium, or large, let's just go to medium, it'll erase only where I tell it to erase in, you know, a medium capacity, basically. So it's only, you know, so wide for where it's going to erase. And so if you pick a smaller one, it's less wide. If you pick a bigger one, it's more wide. But that is kind of the long and short of it. So what I'll do is as soon as I hit publish on this, I'll go up there and I'll add that Amazon link I made like a shopping list kind of thing, so you can kind of see. I recently went through and I was looking for a laptop for my son for school, so I actually just did a bunch of research on these computers, and so I made a quick little list after having all of those questions yesterday, so that you can kind of just see what you're looking for, and just kind of be able to tell what's what. And so remember, you need just any kind of a tablet or computer with a touch screen, right, and a stylus. But with the OneNote, you can use your finger if it's a touchscreen. If you don't have a touchscreen and you're using like a regular CPU computer, it's the big box that sits on the floor and attaches to the monitor, that's like a regular CPU computer. In that case, you'll want to buy one of those little drawing pads, and I put that on the list too, just so you can kind of see what it is. And it basically is a stylus and a gray pad that has the touch sensitivity, and so as you're drawing on the touch pad, you can see that on the screen as you're working with it, which is really cool because it's a very low cost option for you to use what you already have but still work on things in the way that you want to work on them. And then having a digital library is great because it saves trees. It's easy for you to save and send to your friends. There's a whole lot of reasons why you might want to use this. For me, the minimizing of the friction with the hand movements is incredibly powerful because my hands get so tired so fast on a regular pen and paper that it isn't feasible for me to sit there and work for 20 or 30 minutes. Honestly, I can't just sit there and write. I have to type and I gotta draw on the screen. So please be sure to share this with your friends, because like I said, I could share this every single day for the next year and I still wouldn't show it to everyone who's on even just my Facebook page. But just let them know in your quilting groups, in your guilds, or if you're sending out newsletters, like this is a really cool option, and a lot of people already have tablets with touchscreens or tablets with stylus, and you don't have to get expensive stylus too. There are also what are called aftermarket stylus that you can use with your phone already, or your previous tablet that's already used to touch with your finger. And so you just have to make sure that that stylus is compatible with your device. They can cost anywhere from $10 to $30, and the ones that are compatible with your finger, actually, oftentimes you can get, I had some here, but you know how you can get those promotional pens and they've got just that rubber tip on the end, either on the eraser where the pen comes out? That is a stylus, and that will work with any touch screen, any screen that's responsive to your finger. So you could use that if you wanted to. I mean, I got a couple of those from my tax lady's office. So like, you can get them from anywhere. You could probably go to your local Coast Guard station and get one, you know, like your recruiting station or whatever. Like, I'm sure they have pens like that to hand out. They're everywhere, and small businesses have them everywhere. So definitely take a look at the link. I'll post it up above just so you can see, and then share away, please. Make sure people know that they have this available. But thanks for joining me today. I'm gonna go work on fixing up a long arm machine, and I'll be back to quilting hopefully in the next week. I got quilts in the mail coming to me, so there's gonna be a lot of free motion quilting ideas, and I'm excited to just get back on the machine and quilt. So, and we got some fun classes coming up, so check out boldnotionquilting.com/courses if you want to see the live classes that are coming up, where we're going to talk about more of this stuff and design concepts and feathers and contemporary quilting and all of those things. So I'm excited to see all of you. Take care and have a wonderful day. Don't forget to share. Bye bye.